You gotta go get your headphones?
And get my headphones and some ice. And
Well, jeez, I mean, come on. You're coming on the show without your ice
well, no,
and your headphones? What the
I
hell?
I didn't want the ice to melt.
What the hell, Ram?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I'm just playing.
No,
I'm just
no,
playing.
no, you're not trying to hurt my feelings.
Go do your thing. I'll
Fine.
entertain the chat room.
You entertain. I'll be right back.
Hi, chat room. We're here. Rem's gonna leave because, he's not prepared, even though he turned the stream on and is ready to leave. He's just, he's not going to be here for this. No, that's okay. Apparently, he needs ice for this show. So, let me check my lighting now. That looks pretty good. I added some extra lighting behind me and on the side, so it's a little brighter in here. It'll be easier to see what's going on. And, yeah. So happy Saturday. I'm going to sound a little sniffly. I'm going to sound a little congested. But we're just going to muscle through. Because I don't know what's going on with my head, but I am sneezy. Like crazy sneezy today. I don't know what's happening. So, oh well. So, and Garrus just joined the party. Let's see if he'll come up. Come here, sweetie. Want to come up and say hi? Come here. No? You're not going to come up? If anybody saw my Twitter, you saw a very compromising photo of Sir Garrus. And if you didn't, I'll link it for you because it's pretty funny. Because I caught him having a moment, I guess. I don't know. He was in the bedroom, and I went to go fold laundry, and there you go. There's our compromising photo of Sir Garrus, who's just gonna sit on the floor right next to me and say hello. Ooh, Lori has a new PC. This is great. This means you can game. Gaming is good. Gaming is fun. Been doing a lot of gaming lately. When at least I can. It's a busy, busy time. Summer is a busy time. Rem, put your headphones in.
I'm currently putting my headphones in.
Put your headphones in.
Hope you're not talking to me. I can't hear you.
I'm saying things.
I have to go to the Bose store tomorrow and get new headphones because I use them so much. These have gotten frayed. It's like you burst a pregnant baby. You see that? Yeah. So hold on, they're not in my ears yet.
I'm not saying anything to you, dork.
Thank you, Midnight. I like this T-shirt too. All right.
All right, now you can hear.
Now I can hear.
See, it's not as fun as when you're talking to me and you can't hear what I'm saying back at you.
I had fun. I had fun.
Yeah, those are some good headphones.
Yeah, they are. I love them. I love them. I got to get a new. You know what's cool about these is like Bose. Bose is awesome. So I just go, hey, they're frayed, and they give me a new one at a very discounted price. Like I basically have to trade them in every year because I use them so much. Yeah, I get a lot of use out of them.
You get a lot of use out of them, and you show that you're a good customer, and they know you're a good customer. All right, let's start our recording before we start doing anything that you might want to capture. Stop texting.
Sorry.
Stop texting.
All right, are we recording our tracks or are we recording the call? What do you want to
do? Recording our tracks.
All right, you need to speak up, lady.
I am.
You need to yell.
I boosted my gain last time.
Because sometimes you do this, you're like, and there was one time I was going across to Minnesota Meetup, and it was really fun. But I had a good time laughing at that track.
I don't do that.
When's the last time you edited the show?
Apparently, you have weird stuff going on with your audio because I don't have that huge change of volume.
My dear, take that super awesome dynamic microphone, put it right in front of your face, just like this.
No, because it's gonna blow everything out.
No, not yours. Mine will. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Recording.
No, recording now.
Recording.
I'm recording.
I am doing that. Okay.
Screech.
Yeah. Down a little bit so we match better. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
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 Yo.
Hello. What broke?
Nothing.
Okay. What broke?
Nothing broke. My gosh. Ugh. Yep. Ugh, so I don't know.
The email just came in. Tauren Think Tank just went live.
Oh, well, that was like 20 minutes ago.
I know.
Gosh.
My email, man. My email. Or maybe I just checked it. Who knows?
All right. So. Chat room. Oh, I got to put the chat room so I can see them.
Yeah, you do.
There we go. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? I missed you guys last week, but we had fun anyways.
Yeah, you guys did. You got drunk, did?
I think we got more high than drunk on Liquor Fueled because caffeine high. Yeah, it was terrible.
I was like, wait, huh? Wait a minute.
I was like, shaking. Well, we made homemade Four Loko, and Fit used a lot of caffeine, and I'm just sitting there rocking like this. Yeah.
That was like Rain Man right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're rocking on Four Loko.
Yeah. So we had fun though. I'll tell you about it during the show.
Okay.
Oh, what's going on to me this week? I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. Like, what do you have to report?
Work too much.
Well, stop working so much.
I can't. I make a lot of money working so much.
I know. That's the thing. You work so much, get so money, and you don't have time to spend it.
Yeah. What's going on in your life? Hey, sexy Hewley. How's Kane? Does he make dinner?
No, I cook.
Yeah, you do?
I'm the one who's been cooking lately. Yeah. I'm cooking a lot lately, actually.
Have you?
Yeah. Been trying out new recipes and finding good combination stuff and some not so good combinations of stuff. But yeah, I've been the one who's been cooking around this house lately. He made pancakes this morning, though.
It must be nice to be off on a Saturday together.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, with the whole if you didn't work so much.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Favorite thing to cook? I don't really like to cook. So I guess it's just, I just do it. I do it because it requires, we need to eat. So therefore I will make stuff.
We went out for Mexican food last night.
Yeah.
I hate Mexican food.
I saw your Twitter about this.
Yeah.
And
it's not good.
Is it that you don't like the way the food tastes, or you haven't had a certain combination of things that you like together?
I can't make sense of Mexican food in my mouth.
Okay, why?
There's a whole bunch of nothing trying to be something when it comes to Mexican food.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of dull flavors. Add a couple of spices to try to spice it up, and it never works for me. I can do rice and beans, but anybody can do rice and beans.
Yeah.
But I can't get into like the real Mexican dishes. And this is aside from tacos, because everybody eats tacos.
Well,
burritos.
I think what happens with Mexican food, if you haven't had authentic Mexican food, that you wind up getting the American-fied Mexican food, which is bland and tasteless and boring.
Yeah, this was real Mexican food.
And it was real?
Yeah.
Or was it American-fied?
No.
America-fied real.
Puerto Vallarta. When the Mexican family guy comes running out of the kitchen with a plate of fajitas.
Yeah.
He says, "Yepa, yepa, caliente, mucho caliente, woohoo!"
Shut up.
Yeah, for real.
No way.
Yeah, it's like a Mexican family owns a place, yeah. And then they got like their son who's like maybe still in high school. He came out and made the guacamole, and he was like cracking jokes. I was cracking jokes with him. It was awesome. So that was fun, but I don't know. I'm just not into Mexican food. I just don't. Come on, Huel. It's not racist.
You're a racist, sure. It's a good thing he's your friend.
Is he?
I know. God. I know. And Mexican food is hit or miss for me. I used to really, really like it, but I think I really like the Americanified version of Mexican food.
You like Tex-Mex?
I think I do like Tex-Mex better because I think it has a lot more flavor. But that's just me.
No, Google. I didn't want to open up my email again. I wanted to go to Google.
Because because if you tell it that, if you speak to Google, it hasn't quite figured out your voice recognition
Damn it!
yet.
I can speak to Google on my phone.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I know you can,
Give
but
me
not on your
Google.
browser.
God damn! Why won't you give me Google? There we go.
It just sounds bad. Like there's just something wrong with saying, "Give me Google."
I don't want Google my email. I want to Google.
Okay.
I know I'm running late.
Yes, it's all Rem's fault. Because slacker.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn slacker.
Mm. Hold on, I got to write something down.
Okay.
Keep them entertained.
Okay. So, I don't think I need to tell the story on the show, but at the Minnesota Meetup, I was drinking this drink that they had on the menu for the Herkimer pub, and it was a whiskey and bacon drink.
Whoa.
Yes. It was whiskey and bacon. Now, it wasn't like whiskey infused or bacon infused whiskey, I should say. It was like whiskey, probably with some half and F, so it was kind of like a cream. And then there was a skewer of bacon on the top of it, so it was salty and sweet. And I was walking around with this thing, and people kept stopping me and being like, "What are you drinking?" So I'd have to get the menu, turn it over. It's on the back.
Mm.
Gosh, that was really good. That was really tasty. I want another one of those.
Whiskey bacon?
Yeah. I might want another one of those. But I don't even know. Kane's going to have to figure out how to make one for me.
I think Kane can make anything out of whiskey.
Well, he is really good with mixing drinks. He's doing really good with that. And I love it, but it's really good. So last night I'm like, I want a dessert drink. And he goes, "What do you want?" And I said, "I don't know." And he goes, "What about a mudslide?" And I said, "Okay." So he made this mudslide, and I drank this thing as I was playing a video game. And I must have drank it way too fast because it was vodka, Kahlua, and Bailey's. And I must have drank that too fast. And I'm like, I got to go to bed. By the time I waited upstairs to bed, the room was turning sideways. It was just like, whoa, one drink, and I was on the tipsy.
Jules, I'm drinking an energy drink tonight.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna bounce?
Almost.
Are you gonna be like?
All right, let me just. I gotta finish this, and then we can get started.
Okay. As he sits there and just kind of, I'm talking at you and I'm distracting you, but that's what I do.
It's okay. We're good. We're gonna be good tonight. I hope.
So stoofy. My nose is so stoofy.
Stop being sniffly.
Listen to me. I sound so snotty.
Where's my mom? I wonder if she's coming tonight.
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
I think she stopped talking to me.
What?
I don't know. Everybody in my life stops talking to me eventually.
Really?
No. Well, no. No. Everybody still talks to me.
Okay, good. Just Plain Creepy. That's in the Tell Us One Thing section, so you'll have to wait for that.
Normal speaking voice. Hello, what do I look like?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
I can't see what you're doing.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
All right. Ooh. Hey, who won the puppy fight?
The puppy fight result is going to be in the Tell Us One Thing.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, but I don't care about their puppies. I don't need that in my show.
You don't need that in your show? Sorry, I've got like cat hair all over my microphone. I'm fixing the microphone cover because there's cat hair all over it. It's cat hair. There must have been a cat rubbing his face on this thing.
Where's my lip balm? There it is. All right.
Ugh. And now there's cat hair in my face. Good Lord.
You ready?
All right. I'm ready.
You good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right. Oh, I gotta wait. We never tested this out.
Masha!
All right. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
And 3, 2, 1. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Rem.
If you follow me on Twitter, I'm sorry. This is an old joke. Jules, I'm going to start going by my real name.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to start using my real name on the show.
Huh?
You want to know what I'm going to use as?
I know your real name, so what are you going to tell me?
What? Do you know my real name?
I don't know.
It's Major General Badass United States the First.
Ooh.
It's an awesome name.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
I think it's a good name.
It's really long.
It's long, but it says a lot. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 109 of Tauren Think Tank. It is August 2nd. It is the 2nd of 2014. For a second, I thought it was like the 4th. I don't know why. It is 10:07 in the PM on the East Coast. I am Rem, and I am just crashed my car because I want to get carried away. And that's Jules standing on the overpass screaming, "We want to get better." Hello, Jules.
I want to get better.
Oh, you know that song.
I do.
Love that song.
What happened to your car?
I actually got hit this week. Did you know this?
I saw something on Twitter, and then I thought that it was like you were taking a picture of somebody else's car. What happened?
It's Monday. I'm out. I have to go do some overtime on Monday. I work a lot now. If you haven't noticed, I work close to 10 hours a day. It's awesome. But I was out doing some overtime. I drive back and I look at my car. My car is like in the first stall, and I say, "Wait a second, what is that on my car?" And there's this big dent and crack in my bumper.
So this is your car, not the postal vehicle.
It's my car. My personal vehicle got hit. Thankfully, there was a witness, and one of the other carriers, a woman and her daughter, the daughter had a learner's permit, was backing up and backed into my car.
Oh.
I don't know if this is irony. I don't know if this is irony or not, but they left their insurance card and their license and all that stuff so I can get a hold of them.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, I looked at their address, and not 20 minutes before that, I was delivering their mail.
Oh, shut up. Really?
Honest to God.
Oh, how funny. It's
I'm not even
"Hi, I'm
making
your
that
mail guy that you hit."
Yeah, they're not even customers of mine. They're on a different route. I was going out. I was doing overtime. I had 9 different options to choose from that day. I happened to choose that one. I delivered the mail to people who hit my car.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I did not know that part.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, at least you know where they live.
How does that work? Now, this is the type of person I am, Jules, okay? Because I'm a very friendly person, all right? I normally keep a lot of my bad thoughts to myself, unless I'm with friends. So when they came to bring the rest of the information, I happened to be there, and I met them, and I can see the mother and the daughter both came, and I can see the mother. She was loaded. She was ready to go. I mean, loaded. She was loaded for bear. She was ready to fight just in case I had a bad attitude, right?
Really?
She had that look on her face, right? And the poor daughter, who's just had a learner's permit, was so scared. So I walk up to them. I put a big smile on my face. "Hi, I'm the guy you hit." And then the mother wasn't sure how to react, and the daughter is like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I said, "Don't worry about it. It happens. It's okay. Everything's fine. You guys are here. We'll work this out and be fine." So I was reassuring and calm and very, very smiley and friendly. That's how everybody should be.
It should, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So I disarmed them right away with my charming personality.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Got a hold of their insurance company.
Yeah.
Said, "Yo, fix this."
Fix my car, please.
They called me back within a few minutes to let me know the case, and I'm sorry, they called me back the next day to tell me they accepted full liability. And then the appraiser called me and said, "Yo, I'm in town." I'm like, "What's up? Let's hook up." And I met the appraiser. $1,500 later, I'm going to get my bumper fixed.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you got some damage. I mean, my accident back in May, my bumper cover needed to be fixed, and that was only $700.
Mm-hmm.
It was about that, but their insurance company covered it. We're still open though on mine because of my injuries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's So luckily you were not in the car when it happened.
Or unluckily. Because unlike you, I wouldn't be so passive about my neck injury. I would be crying. I'd be on the ground screaming. I need to go to the hospital. Yeah, and I call Hulhauser.
I mean, well, what am I gonna do? I got hit by a 16-year-old. He probably was riding on a learner's permit. I don't think they can get their license at 16 here. So, but he was by himself. So I don't know how that works. I honestly don't know. I got my license in New Jersey, and you couldn't drive by yourself until you were 17.
Where'd you get your license?
New Jersey.
Where?
New Jersey.
Okay.
Is that better?
I was figuring more of a Joyzy type of deal, but whatever.
Nobody says Joyzy.
You just did.
I know, but that's for emphasis.
Emphasis.
Emphasis. I can do that in the Midwestern tone for you.
Yes, please.
Okay. So you've had a little bit of an accident week, but other than that, what else is going on?
Nothing. Nothing. I've just work all the time now, and then I come home and I'm tired. So there's a lot of it's like laying on the couch. The days are fun though.
Yeah.
We had liquor fueled. We did liquor fueled last week. I'll talk about that later.
Yep.
But Fitz got me back on the energy drink kick for a day. So we have some fun text exchanges while that's happening. But no, it's the middle of summer. I'm getting ready to go back on vacation again in a couple weeks, and it's a lot of work, a lot of Twitter drama, which is hilarious.
We are not getting into the Twiter drama. That's
okay.
It. No,
I mean, I don't mind putting my toes in but I won't force the issue.
No, it's not worth it.
I need to prune my following list though.
Yep.
Because you can only watch so many train wrecks at once.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You watch the train wrecks, and I just make sure I'm away from them.
Yeah, I mean, one or two at a time is cool. But I mean, when it gets to be so much more, you just get depressed and oh my God, I can't do this anymore. So, a lot of these people I got unfollowed probably don't follow me anyways. But if I unfollow you and you think I shouldn't, just let me know. Whatever. I don't care. It's Twitter. Who gives a crap? Here, world. Here's how I feel about everything. Read. Shut up.
Okay. Before you get into getting yourself into dangerous territory.
Yes.
Anything going on in WoW that you can report, or it just been too busy?
Been too busy. Nothing
Okay.
to report.
Okay.
I mean, nothing to report.
All right. Okay.
Oh, the Alliance chopper's coming back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just funny. Everybody trying to claim credit for
that canary you're chewing on is crying out for its life.
I don't know what that means, but it's funny.
The cat who ate the canary.
Yeah.
You're chewing on it so hard it's crying for its life. So, if you've got something to say about the Alliance chopper, you might as well say it.
I have nothing to say.
Okay. All right.
I won't try to claim first in calling it either.
Okay. Okay, you're in a snipey mood tonight. I can see it.
I'm punchy.
You're punchy.
I'm punchy. Jules, what's going on with you?
Okay, well, first off, the reason we were not here last week was because I was at the Minnesota Meetup that day, which was awesome. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I have a bit of a allergy or cold or whatever's going on.
You have Minnesota Meetup crud.
Or Minnesota Meetup crud or something like that. So pardon me if I have a little bit of moment because I might have a couple of them today. The Minnesota Meetup was amazing. We did this in a different place this year, and beside it being difficult to find parking because we were in downtown Minneapolis, it was really a great venue because we had this whole area off to the side. It was all part of the bar, but it was a section that was on the side, and then they had a shuffleboard table in a little alcove, and then everything, so people could see us as they were coming in, and which was great. Then we had about 40 people that showed up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. And this time I got smart and I said, we are getting name tags. We totally got name tags.
I thought you were going to say naked. What's going on? Why wasn't I there?
Well, there's that whole thing on reality television about doing things naked, but I didn't think a meetup with a bunch of maybe some socially discomforted people.
Mm-hmm. Talk about getting rid of your social anxiety. Just be naked, right?
God, no.
Yeah. That's the best way to overcome something. Just do it naked. No? Okay.
No. So, no, we did not get naked. We got
naked
name tags.
Name tags.
Name tags.
Okay.
Yes. And so it was great because everybody could see, if you didn't recognize who that person was, all you had to do is look at their name tag and go, oh, I know you.
That's a brilliant idea. Great job.
Yeah, it was cool. And it made our waitress that much more happy because she could make our tabs easily because she could see who people were. So that was awesome. That was really cool. And we had a blast. There were folks there from last year. There were new folks there this year that we hadn't met before. And the outpouring of love from people who talked to me about Tauren Think Tank, it reminded me of all the things that we do this show for. And I don't forget that, but it's sometimes just really nice to hear what we do, that it impacts people in the way that it does. Mm-hmm. And I heard so many amazing stories about people who have listened to the show and that how things have changed for them. And I walked away from it and we were both all very tired and mentally exhausted, but just satisfied. And I was sitting, I was staying with Pat Crane and his wife, and I was sitting on their sofa. We were watching a show, just kind of chilling out, having some dinner, and I just felt great. I just felt so happy that we had the chance to do this, and that there were people who wanted to come to see us and talk about the show and how much it meant to them. So thank you guys all for coming, and it was great. It was just a blast, and we'll do it again next year and have another great time because it was a blast for me.
Will it be back at the Herkimer?
Very likely.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only problem, if you want to call it a problem, is that it was a little difficult to find parking. Mm-hmm. Which you can. It's just street parking or try to find ramp parking, that kind of thing. But the venue itself treated us absolutely fantastically, and it was great. So it was great. I can't say enough about it. It was awesome, and exhausting because when we got home on Sunday, I was just like, I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to talk to anybody anymore for today. So yeah, that was awesome. And then I also, so in game, I've been working on basically just kind of building up my gold stores because I realized that I have been spending a lot of gold and not making back a lot of gold because I'm not doing a lot of raiding.
Right.
I'm not going to buy the shopper. No, I'm not trying to buy the shopper. I know that when the expansion comes, it's going to be like, oh, it'd be really nice if we had some gold on hand. So that's what I'm doing, is doing farming and, on the farm and going out and farming mats, that kind of thing. So that's what I do in my time of game.
Aren't you bored?
I am bored.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that, and I think Blizzard knows this. I think that it's very difficult when you've done everything that you've wanted to do and you're waiting for something new. And it's hard to keep it fresh and exciting and challenging because if you don't have any more goals, you've got to make them up. Mm-hmm. Or you've got to, create things that aren't there. And I find that I'm enjoying some time playing some other games. And as it turns out, that actually has been very beneficial for me because I was invited to be a guest on an upcoming podcast, which I'm really excited about. And I'm going to be next Friday joining the Ladies of Leet podcast for a show.
Wow.
And they talk about kinds of video games.
So you need to bone up on some video games.
I totally do. And so it was like, okay, now it's time for me to get off my butt with the wish list, the things that I have that are like, that I've been playing or wanted to play, and get started on some of them, which is exactly what I've been doing because, I got to have some other games to talk about besides WoW.
Well, no, you have very legitimate gaming credentials. With your Half-Life experience and then the BioShock game, and I've seen your Steam and what you've been doing. Sometimes I see in game playing different sort of Marvel Heroes, whatever it was.
Yeah, playing Marvel Heroes. I've been playing Wolf Among Us.
Jules plays lots of games,
but I don't have when it comes to deciding if I'm going to play a different video game, if it's between WoW and something else, when I have things to do in WoW, I'm going to choose WoW. And this is the greatest time right now to be able to just dip into other video games because I can.
Right.
So, and that's exactly what I've been doing. So, so I've been playing Marvel Heroes. I've been playing A Wolf Among Us, which I absolutely love. And I've played a lot. I play a lot of RPGs. Those are my favorites. So Dragon Age, Mass Effect, those series are my favorites. And so things like that are great. And so that's pretty much what's been going on in my world. It's just been busy. And then as a result of the Minnesota Meetup, and I know that I had been mentioning this before, but we wanted to go to the Bristol Renaissance Fair at some point. We talked about it on the show because Vashta had said that, you guys should come. And so there were people at the Minnesota Meetup who were like, we should go to the Ren Fair. And I said, well, I've got some time next weekend. And they were like, but we can go next weekend. So this weekend, tomorrow, we're driving to the Ren Fair to go for the day.
Are you dressing up?
No, I am not. Because the only dress that I have, it doesn't fit right now. So it's kind of old. And so I am not the same size that I was when I bought it. Let's just put it that way. So I'm working on that. But I did try it on.
Is Kane going to wear a kilt?
He is not.
Oh, come on. He could borrow one from Trey.
I know he could. But it's going to be like 83 degrees and humid tomorrow. And I'm like,
kilt.
You need a kilt right now.
You need a kilt. Nothing else, just a kilt.
To be fair, Trelawney did rent his kilt.
Oh, come on. No, I'm just disappointed. I thought he owned a kilt.
No.
I've thought for 3 years now he owned a kilt.
No, he rented it for that wedding that he keeps showing pictures
God. Oh, I'm so disappointed at the moment.
I know you are. So anyway, that's what's going on. And I think it's about time for us to talk about some WoW stuff, don't you think?
I guess. Are you saying we should have a discussion?
I think we should.
Okay, let me think of something. Discussion.
I like that one. I think you could have left the ending part off, but I think I like that one.
Okay. I mean, we can talk about it after the show. But
I know. I did like the little falsetto voice you had in there.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Discussion topic. Do you want to read this one? Do you want me to read it?
I shall read it.
Okay.
Should access to games in alpha or beta stages be open to the public? Or would game developers benefit from screening beta testers to determine the criteria they're most interested in testing?
You know how we like to go for the risk-taking questions?
Yeah. Well,
this one came from me.
It did.
It did. I actually came up with this one. And so this is legitimately a discussion that I thought we should have on this show. Should beta or alpha, as we've been seeing with Blizzard now, technical alphas and that kind of thing, should they be open to the public, or should game developers benefit from screening people who would be beta testing for them and looking for certain criteria that they are most interested in testing?
I think so. I think it's weird these days because excuse me. Everything goes into like open beta nowadays. Like there's a game on Steam that I wanted to play that I thought was actually a game. What was it called? Oh God, I don't remember now. I forget. It's one of those zombie games where it's like the ultimate survival type of deal. And I wanted it was $30, and I'm like, maybe I'll splurge and I'll spend some money and play this game. And then I read we're still in alpha, so now you have to pay for alpha testing. What the hell? But I mean, everything is open alpha, open beta, so they get as many testers as possible. But now it's kind of like, especially like Blizzard games, people see these things as a right, not necessarily a privilege. Yeah. Like a lot of people, just by reading reactions to it in forum posts and Twitter and stuff, it's like people see betas and alphas as previews. Oh, this game's going to suck now. And they get that type of response when they're actually just looking for people to test the game. And there are some really good testers out there. I follow a couple of them, a couple Death Knight testers, just because they're always either on the PTR or the beta, seeing what the class is doing and giving good feedback to the developers. So I think if they were able to find more people like that, more people who knew what testing was about and kind of tailored their screening process, like we want a core group of people just to test raids, and we want these people just to test pet battles, I think it would be better for the game rather than having a whole bunch of people running around and not necessarily giving feedback or even any constructive feedback.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting as I read the question and the Twitch stream caught up with it. The chat room is overwhelmingly saying that it should be closed and they should be screening people. So, okay. if this many people feel this way, we have a very small sampling of the player base in our chat room, of course. Why are the developers going for a more open concept?
I don't know. That's what kind of mystifies me. Is like, why? Why are they opening it up so big? Like when they did with the Mists of Pandaria beta. Why was it? I mean, I know they had to offer you something for the annual pass, but I mean, it could have been something else, right? I mean, why invite that level of non-testing criticism to come into your game? I don't understand it. Maybe it's because you think maybe because it's too hard to find a specific type of tester. Just if they open it up to everybody, the ones who don't test will weed themselves out.
Well, and it was actually stated in the chat room by Spaz Weston. If the gamers say or the developers say they're going to screen gamers to do this, that takes a lot of time and effort, and it also causes a lot of strife. Because people are going to say, well, why didn't I get it? I'm a super awesome tester. Why didn't I get the opportunity to be a part of this? I could have done a ton of things for you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that happens. So when you're developing a game, I understand that you don't want to create a system where you've got to screen people, because that takes man hours and technical time and all the things that you've got to do. So, but what happens with this situation of open or kind of like invitation only betas that are very well, it's open and people are aware of it, is that it becomes a currency.
Yeah.
For the game developer and to the players. It's a measure for people, whether it's accurate or not, it becomes a measure of your importance to the developer. You invited me to the beta, but you didn't invite them. I feel more important than you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I'm just wondering these days why it is so common for game developers to create a beta. And if you're a new developer, you're an indie developer, it's very different than being something like Blizzard. If you're an indie developer, you just want anybody who would play your game to play your game.
Yeah.
Help you learn from the mistakes, and hopefully you'll get a couple bug squishes out of it and that kind of thing. And they have all of that. But then you have someone like Blizzard who doesn't need to recruit people to play the game. They've got the bodies. They've got the eyes. They've got people who are interested in their products, and no matter what they put out, someone is going to want to play that game. And a lot of people are going to want to play it. Mm-hmm. So why is it that this is... Because I think this time, and maybe we're just hypersensitive to it, but why this time in particular does it seem so damn toxic with the Siege of Orgrimmar beta?
You mean the Warlords of Draenor?
Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, you've been in this. You know why? That's exactly it right there. We've been in Siege for too damn long.
I know, and this is allergies talking. So if I do, just correct me. Please just correct me. But we have a lot of people out there who are testing, who are going into the raid testings, all of that kind of thing to give the feedback. But it's causing so much strife and frustration and toxicity, and people who are not giving feedback. Is it worth it?
No. Of course it's not worth it. All that negativity and toxicity, that's never worth it.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you avoid that? Well, you give more stuff to do. This is what happens when people get bored. People get bored, they start making their own quote unquote fun. So some people's idea of fun is being a jerk.
Right.
And they don't even know they do it. So how you avoid that? By giving out more content but people are bored. They want to play, they want to get into new stuff. They want the new game to come out. And if they can't have the new game, they want to play the beta because it's still new. It's something else to do. And then it's a tough spot to be in. And there's so many good testers too. You hate to see their good feedback get lost amidst the crap. Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the job of the developer, is to kind of weed through all the crap to find the gems and to find the actual valid complaints and that kind of thing. But does it create more work for a developer to weed through 10 times more crap than it would be to screen for people who would actually be testing, and then hope that feedback is a lot more constructive for the time that you spent? You will have people who will just kind of lie and get in there because they want to get into it and brag about it.
Yeah.
For the prestige. Because again, it's like currency to say that you're in a beta of a well-respected game.
I had talk about currency. It's funny. Somebody said to me, "Boy," because they don't have Heroes of the Storm alpha access yet, but I do, and I haven't really played it because I just haven't had time. They said, "Boy, that's not fair that you have access to the alpha and you don't play it when I really want to play it and I don't have access."
Someone has said that to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's not my fault I have access to it. I didn't request it. Sure, I made a big deal about it on the show because it was fun, but it's not like I wrote to Blizzard and be like, "Hey, give me access because I'm a podcaster." No, we don't get that privilege at all. I was one of the random names that popped up as somebody said, "It's not fair you have access and I don't because I would actually play the game." So talk about currency. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and he is right that it's not fair that some people get things that they don't really want and other people want something that they can't get.
Yeah.
But that's life.
But I mean, that would go if they were actually recruiting people. They put up a website and a form. Do you want beta access? Will you be a good tester? Fill out this questionnaire or some nonsense. And I know that's way too much work because they're already busy with all the other stuff that would take away from development time. God forbid. I mean, ideally, that's how you would kind of weed out who wanted to be a tester and who didn't.
Right. And then what they do now is they allow you to opt in to a beta for a specific game. Excuse me. And then they wind up doing that.
We all opt in because we all want to try the new stuff. We don't necessarily want to test it.
Right. We want to try it. We don't want to test it.
Yeah. We don't want to take ourselves off the list, because maybe we won't get back on it. So everybody signed up to opt in. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Just about many people sign up to opt into anything just so they can get a free preview of it.
Mm-hmm. And then let's say that we have a situation where someone like Blizzard would evaluate whether or not this person would actually be a tester or if they're just looking to be have access just to see it. And then it turns out to be that the person who doesn't do that, and said, "Oh, I got in, but I'm not giving you any feedback," that kind of thing. That in itself would cause drama.
Right.
Because it would say, "Well, you lied and just got yourself in just because you wanted to have something that other people did not. Whereas I really said I wanted to get in and I wanted to test it, and I really do." So they can't win.
Is there any way of not causing drama between gamers?
I don't think this is specifically a gamer issue, Rem.
No.
I don't. Because it can happen in any club or interest group or anything like that, because it gets into a basic thing of fear of missing out. They've made an acronym about this. It's FOMO, fear of missing out.
Whoa, what?
Have you not seen this on Twitter?
No. People
actually hashtag FOMO or FOMO, and it's called fear of missing out.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I guess you didn't hear about this. So, but, I mean...
What's wrong with people? My God.
But let me put... You have this. You have done this because you've made fun of it.
Did I do it because it was funny, or did I do it because I was serious?
Both.
Okay.
And be honest about it, because
I will.
We've all done it.
Remind me of when I've done it, because I don't remember.
Well, when you talked about not having Heroes of the Storm access was a big one.
That was funny.
But there was partial truth in it. Because you wanted to try it out.
Well, let's be honest here. I think too highly of myself, and people who I...
Oh, God. Okay. I'm never letting you drink energy drinks on this show, ever. Jeez. But, I mean, if we're honest with each other and honest with our listeners, we all have a fear of missing out over things that we deem important to ourselves. When someone is off doing something
right.
with friends of yours that you weren't invited to, there's a fear of missing out.
Yep.
When you were a kid and there were people down the street that were doing something and they didn't invite you to come along, we were raised on this fear of missing out. So it is something that is inherently human. And it's a matter of how you deal with it and how you put validation to it. If you say that I am missing out on the beta because Blizzard hates me, that's probably not a really accurate assessment. But when you say, I just missed out because I just didn't get picked in the draw, oh, well, crap happens. Or, and it's all about how people deal with that. But if you've been spending your entire life of fear of missing out, and then something that you really have interest in doesn't allow you to participate in it, even if it's something that has nothing to do with who you are as a person, it can cause drama.
Is fear of missing out a real thing amongst adults, or is this just a...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Are you kidding? Absolutely. Because some people have never learned how to cope with it from when they were kids.
All right.
And it's just a matter of maturity and ability to cope and self-esteem and self-worth is all of it. Because if you don't have a good high opinion of yourself, not an overinflated opinion of yourself, but a good solid opinion of yourself, and you feel like somebody is doing something behind your back or not allowing you to participate because you're not a good person, that is absolutely happening in the adult world. Absolutely. It happens at work. You see people who are like hanging out with each other who have made friends at work, and you didn't get invited to go out for drinks after work, and you're like, what did I do? Why am I not a part of this?
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
It happens all the time. So yeah, that is part of it. And when you give something exclusivity or selection, like beta, alpha, where the developer decides who's worthy with air quotes around it. And I would say probably 95% of the time they're looking for certain system specs. They're looking for someone who's got an older computer, a newer computer, all those things that they're looking for to see how the game plays, because those are the things that are going to cause the problems that they have to fix when it goes live. Mm-hmm. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, for my opinion, I feel like game developers need to decide what works best for them in terms of what they need. And if they were to decide that a closed alpha, closed beta, invite only was something that would benefit them the most, I would support it 100% because it's something that benefits their company to develop the product that they need to develop. And the player, you know what? You'll get your chance to play when they've made the game.
I agree with you. I think you're right. Each game should decide what it needs. And as we said earlier, a brand new game needs as many people to play and spread the word as possible. But a game like World of Warcraft, I think Blizzard should be more discerning with its invites, and go to known testers, mm-hmm. and work out from there. So go, invites the known testers first, and then spread it out to the people who. God, I almost said high-end guilds. I think I want to say high-end guilds. But, I mean, you take world-first raiding guilds. These people are actually going to test the content. They're going to test these raids to make sure they work and get a head start in mechanics and stuff. But they'll be there, and they'll be in the game playing.
And they'll be the ones who are finding the issues.
Right. Exactly.
But there is also the need for stress testing. If you're going to be building new raid instances and you need to know how much they can hold, how much the servers can hold if everybody's trying to raid at the same time on release day. Yeah. There's the stress tested thing too.
I don't know if I'm going to contradict myself or not here, but I'm going to say it anyways. I think Blizzard, they do what they need to do. Mm-hmm. They might have had too many people in the Mists of Pandaria beta, but that kind of whittled down towards the end.
They admitted that they had too many people because they promised with the early access or the yearly pass.
But I think they've got a good handle on what they need. You see more beta waves going out when they need more people jumping in. And if they want to, I'm sure when they say play with a dev, that's kind of like a stress test because they know they'll get more people in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they've got it figured out. I think we as a community need to get a better handle on ourselves and not get so anxious or worked up over not having a beta invite right away. Mm-hmm. Kind of temper our expectations a little bit because it's not our right to have beta access to these games. It's our privilege. Mm-hmm. And I think more people need to remember that.
Because the developer has invited us to participate in it.
Right.
And in essence, it is their game.
Mm-hmm. We
pay for it, and we pay for the opportunity to play the game, and we have passion about the game, and we enjoy it. But in the end of the day, it is Blizzard's game. Yeah. It is their property.
It's like renting a house. You live there, you maintain it, but you can't knock that wall down. Unless you get permission.
Unless you get permission. Yes, but it is not your property unless you have signed the deed for it.
Right, exactly.
So we could go on about this discussion forever, but I think it's something to think about. My closing comments on this would be that we have the opportunity to recognize certain things in ourselves. And I think a lot of our audience is pretty mature about the whole beta thing and the understanding that it is a beta, that things aren't all buttoned up and pretty and ready to go for release. And that there are things that Blizzard needs from us in order to improve those things, like sharing bugs, telling them when you find something wrong, and that kind of thing. But we also have to recognize that they're working on the game. They're creating this game, and there are things that are going to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look right and that kind of thing. So, but I do think that it's very difficult for some people to feel that they are not a bad person because they didn't get invited to this beta.
That's a weird feeling.
But it happens.
Yeah, I understand it does, and I'm kind of sad. That makes me sad that people think they're bad people because they just didn't get an invite to a beta.
Yep. When
you're going to have every opportunity to play it in another 4 to 27 months.
It's all perspective. It's all about perspective and deciding what is important to you in your life.
Yeah.
And if wasting energy to be upset over the access to a video game is something that causes you actual anger and frustration and feelings of low self-worth, that's something to kind of take a step backwards and say, maybe there's something else that I need to be doing here for myself.
Are we going to get into the point of not finding validation for yourself in a video game, or is that for another discussion?
That's for another discussion.
Okay. I like our chat room. I love you guys. If you don't come to our chat room on Saturday nights or the odd times we're not on a Saturday night, you probably should, because our chat room is awesome, and they're kind of a lot of good points, a lot of good discussion going back and forth. So thank you guys for being so awesome.
It's amazing to see the different points in the discussion going on about what we're talking about. And lend your voice into the chat room, guys. If you have a chance to join us on a Saturday night, please do.
And if you have any thoughts on this discussion, I think we've talked it out, Jules.
I do think so, too.
If you have any thoughts on it, just write us questions at taurenThinkTank.com. We'd love to hear what you have to say. That's why we do these discussions, to kind of involve you guys and talk about things that maybe some other people aren't talking about, or things that you might be thinking about that haven't come up yet. We like it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get you talking, even better.
Absolutely. Because, and we may have missed a completely valid point that you have and didn't talk about it. We'd love to hear about it. So please send us your emails. We'd love to see them.
That's right. All right, Jules. Before we move on, I think we got to talk about something else that people are talking about.
I think we should.
That's Doghouse Systems computers, baby. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest gaming computer system, damn it, on the planet.
Greatest gaming system. Well, it is. And it's hard to say.
Yeah, you don't need to beta test a Doghouse, because those things come pre-beta tested for you, because they stress test those things before they send them out, right? They do that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the nice thing about a Doghouse, too, is that they make sure that everything is working up to standards, but also, because you're a WoW player, if you tell them that as you place your order, which they'll ask you, and you can put that in your notes and say, yeah, I play WoW, I play Diablo. They'll preload your system with these games all ready to go, patched up, ready to roll. So, you can see how many frames per second improvement you're getting from your old system right away out of the box, plug it in, log into WoW. So why wouldn't you?
That's right. They're amazing. We got new games coming left and right. Check out Steam. My God, and we got Warlords coming, as I said, in the next 4 to 27 months. So anytime now, we'll be getting those brand new, beautiful models and those brand new Draenor lands from the alternate universe. Anyways, go to doghousesystems.com. We got a great deal for you. Order your system. You enter TTT, that's triple T, at checkout. You will get double the memory. 8 gigs becomes 16 gigs of RAM and your brand new gaming system. So do it. What do you got to lose? Nothing, because it's going to be awesome. doghousesystems.com, TTT at checkout. Thank you, Doghouse Systems, for your support. Thank you guys for supporting Doghouse Systems, and in turn supporting us, because everybody rocks. Everything's awesome. Jules, let's do some Think Tank.
Let's do it.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
And now, the Think Tank.
All right, here's our question of the night, and it's kind of a latch-on to one we did recently. Actually, it was a discussion, not a think tank question, so this is great.
All right.
Says Jules, recently I listened to the episode where you recounted your difficulties in asking for help. I'll admit I have similar challenges where I feel like I've failed if I need to ask for help or that I'm not worthy of the time expenditure of the person who I'm asking for help. When I was in high school, I was not well liked. To be honest, I don't quite know why, but I was very unpopular despite trying to be polite. However, I was very tech savvy. I got my first real job programming at age 16 while still in high school. I helped put my high school on the internet in 1996. So despite being very unpopular, everybody also knew that I was really good with computers. I can remember being resentful many times because I knew the only reason the person who was interacting with me right now was being nice because something was broken and they wanted me to fix it for them. As I've grown older, I've mostly outgrown this feeling. Though through my day job, I still fix things everyone else has broken and then made worse by trying to fix it. I'll admit, though, my close friends tend to be deeply technical, and sometimes I wonder if it's because I suspect these people least of being nice only because they want something from me. Wondering if you've ever felt like this. Thanks, Seth.
I've kind of got a similar feeling to this, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I can't say I was ever really good at computers, but I was able to figure things out. I've always been able to figure stuff out, either through fooling around. So somebody would ask me a question, and it was something I experienced before, and I show them how to do it and fix it. So I've always had this weird thing attached to me that I'm good at computers, when I'm really not. I'm pretty terrible at them. So even as recently as the last office I worked in, if there was a computer problem, they would look at me. I look like a big nerd, and they'd say, "Hey, can you help us with this computer?" And I would try to say, "No, I can't." And they would think I was joking. They would start laughing at me when I said no and not believe me. They didn't believe me because how could this lanky fellow who looks like he's a nerd not know anything about computers? But I didn't. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm really sorry. Call the help desk. I have no idea. Yep. But, you do a couple things to help somebody who doesn't know anything, and then all of a sudden you become an expert. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what Seth is dealing with in this, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, especially people who may have been considered nerds in school, maybe a little bit unpopular, is that you have maybe more strength in something, in a skill or an ability, and not as strong in social interaction and charisma and, making people laugh or making people feel good or make them smile and that kind of thing. And so what happens is that someone who is in that position when they're very tech savvy and someone who is very not tech savvy looks at that other person as a commodity and sees them as something that they can work with. You can help me do what I need to do. A lot of people who are technical, who are in IT and in trades, that kind of thing, who may not have very strong social skills, wind up feeling like this because someone who is very socially dynamic looks for other people who are socially dynamic to entertain them. They want people to make them laugh and make them feel good and all of that kind of thing. And maybe Seth doesn't have a lot of those skills, or he's not as appealing to someone who's really socially dynamic. And therefore he's looked at as someone is like, you're a nice guy, but I really need help with this. Do you think you could help me? It's the same thing about the nerd being asked to help with homework for the jock or the cheerleader in school.
Mm-hmm.
The problem here is that it's two personalities that don't understand each other. It's two types of communication styles that don't get what the other one, how they do it. Maybe they wish they could be like that. If you're really nice or you're kind of a popular person, you're well liked, people really dig who you are, but you have no ability to fix your email for anything. And you look at the guy who's like, oh my gosh, you are so good at this. Could you help me do this? Thank you so much. You're awesome. But that's the only thing that I find value with you because I don't connect with you any other way. And it's not it's not personal. It's just that there is just so many different types of personalities and communication styles that only the really strong people can know how to dynamically shift to those communication styles. You know what I mean? Am I making sense?
Kind of. I think I'm getting what you're saying. It's like not everybody's learned how to be able to make the transition from phase to phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a weird, and I think it's a skill we're getting further away from.
Yeah, I think that there are people who are, you can learn how to do this. You can learn how to communicate with people, but what it requires is that you have an open mind to be willing to learn how the other person communicates and what is important to them, how they think, how their thought processes work, and how they tend to, if they think before they speak, if they're just not comfortable riffing on a topic and they don't like small talk, they'd rather just get down to business. So when you think about an introvert versus, let's just say an introvert versus an extrovert, let's go down that road. The extrovert is the person who is like the most comfortable being around lots of people. That's where their energy comes from, is spending time with people, talking, conversing, going into big crowds, doing things and that's where you get all your energy. Whereas an introvert spends their time gaining their energy from being by themselves or from trusted people that they very, very much feel comfortable with and spend time with. Going into those big crowds and those big dynamic situations are really frustrating and overwhelming, and you want to run away. You want to run away. Mm-hmm. And I am an introvert. I am most comfortable in my home with people that I'm comfortable with, or in a very small, like less than 10 people gathering. That is my comfort zone. Going to something like the Minnesota Meetup is very, very fun in small doses. But when I'm done, I am done. And when we went back after the Minnesota Meetup was over, I was exhausted. I used up every bit of energy that I had stored up to talk to everybody and be funny and friendly and ask them questions and do this for 5 hours. And then I came home and I was like, oh God, I need to recharge. I need this. And I think that is what happens when someone who is this situation where they may be very technically skilled, but not socially skilled. And these two people don't understand each other.
You know what's funny is at the Kineticast, at Kineticon, when we had everybody together, yep. I did not want it to end.
Yeah, because you were comfortable with those people.
Absolutely. I just wanted to party with them all night and keep going for the next several days. I enjoyed every second I had with those people.
But add 25 people to that group.
Even better.
Okay, so that makes you an extrovert.
I guess I've turned into one. But that's actually, I wanted to, I don't know why, I wanted to talk about stereotypes.
Okay, well, we do that.
Yeah. Because we all do it. And we all say, oh, I don't stereotype, but we all do in our lives. We do it. We just do it, and it's fine. Don't be mean about it. If you see a guy, kind of lanky, wearing glasses, button-down shirt, you might start thinking he knows a little bit about computers. Just
Possibly.
Because on what we've been conditioned as a society, right? Where am I going with this? This whole thing with people come to this guy for help to fix it because he kind of looks the part, right? Or they came to me for help because I look the part, even though I really wasn't. And we just have this preconceived notion of what people look like and what they should be able to do with their looks, right? It's kind of a weird thing we have. You see a guy.
We judge people. We prejudge people when we see them. You're
exactly,
right.
Exactly. Yes. You know, you see a guy with muscles walking down the street and a couple tattoos. We don't assume gamer.
But they could be.
Totally, they could be. But we don't assume that, you know. So we just start making assumptions and we prejudge people and we just go on that. So I think I want to start making a point about finding a fence with it and not trying I don't know where I was going. I kind of lost my thought there.
Well, and maybe we don't know Seth. We don't know what he looked like in school. We don't know what his dynamic is. But when but what you're saying is that people put a label on you when you're in school, when you're out in adult world, people will just put a label on you, and it is completely involuntary. We just do it. It happens. No matter what you do, you will label someone based on their appearance. You may be completely wrong about it, but it happens. It's just because it's how we decide if we're feeling comfortable talking to that person or not, interacting with them or not. And I have prejudged people that I was completely wrong about once I started to talk to them. The difference, though, between someone who is an extrovert or an introvert is that the introvert is really not comfortable talking to people with just little small talky things. So if Seth is an introvert, which I believe he may be, I'm not sure, but he might be, he is not going to walk up to you and be like, hey, how's it going? Did you see the Giants game this weekend? Because you happen to be wearing a Giants t-shirt or something like that. He is going to be more comfortable in his space. Whereas the extrovert doesn't have a problem with that. He's like, yeah, I love talking to people. That's why extroverts are salespeople. They're out there just talking, getting to people to, it's what fuels them. But so it's very funny because talking about prejudging, we were watching this show. Have you seen this on the Food Network? You've seen the Chopped, the Chopped show, right?
Yeah, I love Chopped. Yeah.
Have you seen the Teen Tournament?
I saw the advertisements for it. I forgot to watch it.
Okay, so this is way off. This is going on a tangent, but please, I will bring it back.
You better have a point, Jules.
I have a big point. So these are teens between the ages of 13 and 17. And they are competing on the game show Chopped, where they're cooking with these mystery basket ingredients and creating a dish for the judges, and then they decide who has the best dishes and they chop them, and that's the basic scenario if you've never seen the show. So there was this girl on there that was one of the episodes, and she was 14 years old, and she spoke like she was an adult. She was already a certified EMT. She wanted to be a doctor, but she loved cooking. But the way she spoke conveyed this like very mature vibe. And I said to Kane, which was really funny, I'm like, I don't think she's very popular in school. And then I was like, oh, that was really mean to say. But it was something that I could really label with her. And she says it in her like little package. She's like, yeah, I'm not really, people just don't really get me. I don't have kids that I can talk to about the things I love, but it's so cool to be around people who get this in this competition. Even though we're competing against each other, we're all the same kind of kid. Mm-hmm. And they got each other and they felt comfortable around each other. And it was really cool to see that these kids were blossoming because they were around other kids that were like them and they were kind of misfitty and that kind of thing. And there are some people who just have that difference where they're like, I don't get along with the other kids in my school because they don't get me. They don't understand me. And when you're a kid or a teenager, you don't know how to figure out other people's communication styles. You're just looking for people who are like you, who think like you, who like the things that you like so that you can hang around with them, pal around with them, and have fun.
Yeah.
Listen to you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I part of me wants to have a problem with a kid saying they just don't get me. Because I feel like that's I feel like that's an easy excuse.
Okay. You went to Kineticon in this part of the month.
Yeah.
You were around people who got you, weren't you?
Yeah.
Wasn't that cool?
Well, yeah.
Do you feel like that every day?
No, and I don't expect to feel like that every day.
You don't?
No.
Really?
Really.
Now that's surprising me. Why do you feel like that?
Because people don't know me. I don't expect them just to get me. I understand my interests are I understand my interests in things are different from quote unquote normal people. Not everybody has a podcast. Not everybody listens to a bunch of podcasts and laughs when you hear something that should have been edited out, but it wasn't. Yep. Those things amuse me. Not everybody has a as an interest in World of Warcraft like I do or did. So I understand my differences. I'm okay with them. Some people aren't okay with them, but I'm okay with them. So I don't necessarily, it's cool to be around people who get me.
Wouldn't you want more of that?
But then you wouldn't know how special it was.
Well, that's a great point, but I feel like you're giving yourself a lot less enjoyment in life than to try to surround yourself more with people who get you.
Well, there aren't a lot of people in the world who get me in this area, but that's just the way it is. I have my close friends. I have my close people I talk to, people who get me and I can have conversations with and have text exchanges with throughout the day. I have that and I'm okay with it.
But you have it in your life, which is my point.
Yeah, I do have it in my life.
And that is something that people inherently want. They want to be able to say comfortably, I have people in my life that get me, that make me happy. Maybe I don't see them every day.
Right, but
maybe I don't see them every year.
The point I was trying to get at is like, kind of, if the majority of people don't get you, it's easy to say nobody gets me and then shut yourself down. But
then it's your job to figure out ways to find those people that get you.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, I think when people use the excuse, nobody gets me, I don't really talk to anybody, they're kind of shutting themselves down and then using that as an excuse not to have to find anybody who get them. I mean, finding friends is a two-way street. You need to do some work there to find friends.
Absolutely.
They don't just come to you.
That is an excellent point. It is, because what happens is that if you've spent your whole life trying to find people who get you and you keep failing, it gets harder and harder and harder to try.
Yeah. And I think if you keep trying to find people who get you and keep failing, maybe you're asking too much.
It depends on what maybe you're not looking in the right places.
That too.
Maybe you're not being true to who you really are, and people they're not embracing you because you're not being true to yourself. There are a lot of people out there. You could take almost any subject that has a little bit of a negative connotation about it. A gamer, we know this world. But let's say that you're gay and you want to be around people who get you, but you don't know anybody in your life that's gay. So how do you figure this out? You have to find that. You have to put yourself out there, but you have to accept that that's what you want. Mm-hmm. And so it's thinking about it from that perspective too. It's thinking about what you are and who you are and being okay with that. Because I will tell you, when you decide that you're okay with who you are, then you will start to attract people who feel that way about you too. But people can see it if you're not comfortable being yourself. It takes someone who is going to be willing to kind of peel back the onion on you to see who you really are. And sometimes it's very hard to find that person who is willing to take the time. But those people who do that are keepers. Mm-hmm. Those people are really worth keeping.
Do you see what Cal1699 wrote in the chat room?
I am a bisexual atheist combat veteran who loves politics but doesn't vote, plays WoW but doesn't know how to fix computers, and can ride horses and pitch hay. Expecting anyone to just get me would be too much.
I like that attitude.
I guarantee you, Cal, there's somebody out there who would love to be like, you are like my kind of guy.
Absolutely.
Or
but
girl.
They're not saying, everybody needs to get me. They're willing to work with the people who don't get them.
I'm assuming this is a guy, but I'm not going to assume.
I'm going to say
a guy
they.
or a girl.
It's easier to say they and not offend anybody.
I know.
but I mean, he's taken that a little responsibility of this, getting me to his or herself, saying, I know I'm not the normal person, quote unquote. So I'm willing to understand if you. Okay, so Cal says he's a guy. I'm willing to understand if you don't completely get me, and we can work on it together.
Yeah. And Aldrich1022 said the thing that I love to see in any chat room, which is, I may not get you, but I'm willing to accept you for who you are. Boom. Right there. Right there is that, you may not see that person exactly to be the person that you want to spend all your time with, but accepting that person for who they are is just like, you know what? You have your life. Awesome. I am really happy that you are here. And all of these people who are currently in our chat right now have one thing in common, is that they listen to this show. So they all have one thing in specific common, no matter who they are, where they come from, what their life is like, and who they identify with as a person. They have one thing in common right there. And that is the thing that we have to be a little bit more willing to look for. In high school, it is really hard because you're identifying yourself. You're putting yourself in these little buckets. I'm a jock. I'm a nerd. I'm a cheerleader. I'm the popular girl. I'm the emo kid. It's all of those things. There's a reason why all these labels happen in high school. Is because people are trying to figure out who they are, and they put people in buckets to help them figure out who they want to be and who they don't want to be. And then you become an adult and you go to college. And if you go to college, you realize that things are not just in buckets anymore. And your life is like, oh, because it's like the best thing ever. People are not just in these labels anymore. But sometimes as adults, we don't always get there. The things that I've learned as an adult, as a supervisor, as an employee, as a friend, as a partner, as a spouse, is that communication styles make a huge difference. If you can identify and adapt to someone else's communication style, you can get a whole lot further in life than you did before.
Yeah. And if you stop being so damn judgmental.
I know. I may not agree with everything that everybody says. I may get into disagreements with people. I do get into disagreements with people. But I also look at the fact that this person I look at why they're acting the way that they're acting, and if it's just a blanket statement of being a jerk because you're being a jerk, okay. But if you're being a jerk because there's something else going on, then I try to think of it from that perspective. If people are lashing out on Twitter, like you talked about earlier, and lashing out at each other, 99% of the time there is something bigger going on beyond just what we were seeing on Twitter, because it's causing a behavior to happen.
Yes. I'm going to stay away.
Okay.
I'm going to stay away from that.
I know it is a very, very delicate subject right now, because there are a lot of people who are really, really mad at each other for probably very minuscule reasons when you break it down to the basics. Mm-hmm. Because really there's something else bigger going on. In any case, for Seth, yes, I've absolutely felt the way that you have. I felt that people wanted me for what I could do and not who I was as a person. They wanted to, be nice to me because it benefited them. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people would say yes to that question too. But for me, I have the choice of whether I want this person in my life or not, and how much and this happens to me every day. I deal with this every day. I deal with it at my workplace. They like me because I do things for them, and they don't really do a whole lot for me in return. But I get it. I understand it. In my personal life, if there's someone who's just being nice to me because of what I do for them, but I know that they would never be there for me in a pinch, you can guarantee I'm not going to be going out of my way to try to spend time with them just because they're nice to me. No.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to get there. I had a friend who I met. I used to play poker a lot. I used to play poker with Kane, and we'd play in like free Texas Hold'em tournaments where you'd like earn points and be able to go into final tournaments to win cash prizes and all that stuff. We used to do that almost every Monday night. And there was a girl that I met, and we became friendly, and we started having some similar interests and started to do some things together. But she used to cancel on me all the time. And whenever she needed something, she was upset about something, she'd call me and start crying on the phone. I need to talk to you. I'm so upset, blah, blah, blah. And I'd listen and I'd be there to support her. But she kept standing me up when we made plans. And I would rearrange my schedule to try to make sure that I was there for her. She'd call me up and say, I'm sorry, I can't be there tonight. Something's come up. And, let's reschedule. And when it became the 15th time of me rearranging my schedule, I just stopped answering her phone anymore. And she got upset and said, why won't you talk to me? And I said, you never seem to be there for me. And so I'm sorry, but if you're not always going to be there for me, or respect my time. This doesn't work for me. She got upset, and that's the end of the friendship. So,
You're terrible.
I'm an awful person, man. So I just, it's looking for who in your life is somebody who is actually going to be there for you, to get you, to understand who you are, and to be there as part of it. And you most likely will have a small number of people that will do that in your life. But those people will be the most valued.
Yeah. I mean, good friends, very good friends are super hard to find, especially they get harder to find as you get older when you have responsibilities and other things taking up your time. So hang on to them. Yep. I don't know, I think we've talked this one to round.
We've gone all around it. We've kind of hit every shrine on this one. I hope this was helpful for you, Seth.
Yeah, thank you, Seth, for writing in. Jules and I, we love talking about anything. Really?
Really do.
Yeah, we do. But if you guys want to write in, it's questions@taurenThinkTank.com. If you have a question for the think tank or something you want us to discuss or whatever, we are always taking your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just send them on in, and one of us will get them. Probably Jules. I mean, I'll see it.
You'll see it.
But I'll just be so confident that Jules will have it. I won't even do anything with it. I don't have to say anything. Nope.
And there are people who are making friends in the chat room right now as we speak, exchanging battle tags, talking after the show. I love it.
I'd come here and just do a stream for the chat room. Be like, yo, what's up? Jules, let's do some Tell Us One Thing.
Let's do it.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
All right, Jules, take it away.
All right, so we're bringing it down a little bit, having some fun with the Tell Us One Thing.
All right, I'll take this one.
You can do the first one.
I changed my mind. This is from me.
Oh, okay. All right.
What is the angriest food in your pantry?
Define angry.
Like, if you had to pick one food from your pantry that would be angry for whatever reason, what would it be? Okay,
so like a food that's in the back of the cabinet that's been there for probably 2 years that I never picked.
I'll give you my example, and this is what made me think of this. All right, I went on a big tea kick. I was drinking a lot of tea.
Okay.
All right, but I've kind of slunk off a little bit. I haven't drank a lot of tea lately. I don't know why. I just haven't.
Gone through a cycle.
Okay, yeah. So I went through a tea cycle. While I was drinking tea, I used a lot of honey. I don't use honey anymore. I'm sure my honey is pissed. He's like, what's up, dude? We had a good relationship. We had a good thing going on for a good 2 months. Every day we talked, and now you don't talk to me anymore. What's up? And I don't even see the guy.
You're like, it's your petulant food.
Yeah.
He left me out.
Like every time I open up that cabinet to get the salt, he's like, what's up? And I ignore him. I can't even look at him anymore. I feel so bad. I'm ashamed of how he treated honey.
I think it's our salad dressing. Because here's the thing. Here's what happens in my pantry. Arcane says to me, when you go to the grocery store, I want you to buy some salad stuff and some salad dressing. And so I will buy some because we don't eat salads in this house. I cook a lot, but I really don't like salads. So I don't make them. And so, but he decides he wants to have a salad. So I get all the makings for it. And then it sits in there for a year. And it doesn't get touched. And the salad dressing goes, oh, come on. You took me off the goddamn shelf at the grocery store. And then you locked me into this dark place for a year. And now you're throwing me out? I didn't even get a chance to play.
What kind of salad dressing was it?
Anything. It's balsamic vinaigrette, raspberry vinaigrette, whatever it is. It just, it's like, come on. You guys suck. And we kind of do suck.
So salad dressing.
Salad dressing.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to know what everybody else's angry food is. I don't know why.
So which food in your pantry is like really pissed at you right
now? Yeah. What food in your pantry is? Not your refrigerator. Refrigerator's different. Leave that out. In your pantry.
The pantry. Yeah. In the refrigerator, if it's still in there, it's bad. It's all like, it's like, hey, I'm really naughty right now.
Like, we had a good relationship. We had a good thing. With your tea. It was delicious. I was delicious. I loved it. It was great. We had it. And I just don't talk to honey anymore. So
I don't talk to honey anymore. There's the show title.
Write it down.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. A 13-year-old can of corn? Are you kidding me?
That's awesome. Open it up and take pictures.
Oh, dude, don't even bring that to a food pantry. That is rude. Cookie dough Oreos is from Fate 3000. Everyone talked about how they awesome when they were and they aren't, so now they're pissed. Can of vegetable soup, canned chili, and canned green beans. Yeah, no kidding. Those things don't go bad.
Unless it's like Hummel Brothers canned chili. That stuff is awesome.
Is it? I haven't even tried that.
Just dump it on a hot dog. It's fantastic. It's so bad. It's so good.
Jen Morton says her canned soup because she's off her liquid diet, so she can't look at it anymore.
Yeah, see, Jen Morton's canned soup was pissed at her. They had a good relationship once. You know, it was canned soup all the time, and now it's like, what's up?
See, there's your example of being in a relationship because you needed each other, not because you wanted each other.
Right, liquid diet relationship.
All right, we're moving on. From Pan's Folly, when bored with your main, do you play an alt of the opposite or same faction or a different game? We kind of talked about that earlier. I've been playing different games. The Wolf Among Us from Telltale Games is amazing, by the way. It is so good.
Is it about wolves?
Huh?
Is it about wolves?
It's about fairy tale characters. 30 setting. It's very noir.
Yeah.
And it's based off of graphic novels where the fabled characters, so like Snow White and the Big Bad Wolf and the Woodsman and all these guys are living in New York City as human characters. And there's a murder mystery around this whole thing. And the Big Bad Wolf is like the sheriff of they call Fabletown. And he's supposed to protect the fables that they call them, fables from being discovered by the Mundies, which are the humans or the mundanes. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool.
I don't, when I'm bored with my main, let's say, okay, I'll answer like this. When I play beta, I play the opposite faction.
You play because you don't want to spoil it for your current faction.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. From Jen Morton01, which one of you would win in a food eating contest?
Remwood.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Here.
I am a fast eater.
I am picky and I don't have I can't eat a lot. So I would just totally fail. Because I get grossed out there was a food eating contest at my college. The fraternities used to do it. And it was the one, like the Greek events kind of thing. And the guys who used to do this in this one fraternity that I had some friends in, they used to prepare for this by going out and so they'd have to eat like an entire pizza, an entire pint of ice cream, a plate of fries. And it wound up with everybody puking. It's awesome. Disgusting.
It's fantastic.
It was the grossest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I'm like, there is no way. No.
Did you see when I think it was Roe tweeted that some dudes came into his store and bought a whole bunch of gallons of milk because they were going to have a milk drinking challenge?
Yes. It was so nasty.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was so nasty. Oh, yeah. No. There is no way. And then FSUTJ also kind of tacked onto it.
Fasucha.
Yeah. Said, I'll throw in a secondary question of what food item it would be. I couldn't do any of it. If I eat too much of one thing, I feel like I'm going to barf, and I hate barfing, so no.
Well, we got to qualify the contest here. Is it like a certain amount in a certain time, or as many as we can do till another one gives up? Because if it's a bowl of ice cream, that changes things as opposed to like 20 chicken wings.
Well, it's like how quickly can you eat a bowl of ice cream versus how much ice cream you could eat.
Like you love chocolate peanut butter ice cream.
I do, yeah.
Okay, so if we had a regular size bowl of chocolate peanut butter ice cream, would you be able to beat me in an ice cream eating contest?
If we both had the same size bowl and it was about speed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
No, okay, because you like to savor.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I could I don't know if I physically could do it.
I am a fast eater, and part of that leads to my stomach issues.
Yeah.
Right? But I do eat very fast.
Yep.
So I'd probably kick Jules' ass.
Yeah, you probably would. Food and me, I love food, but no, I don't think I would ever try to compete with someone to eat something faster or more of, because it would just end very badly. I think it's more my fear of barfing, to be honest.
Barfing is funny. I would applaud you and hold your hair back and laugh. It would be great.
Seriously, the last time I threw up was probably 1997.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I laugh at myself when I throw up. I think it's
You do not.
I do.
Really?
Yeah, last time I had that stomach issue in January, I threw up like a whole bunch of pretzels. I thought it was great. I mean, it sucked, but it was funny.
You're like laughing at myself because I'm barfing up pretzels.
Yes, I mean, from the night before, because I had raided, or what did I raid? I don't remember whatever. It was a Monday I called out, wasn't it? No, it was a weekend. So I did raid, and I barfed up all the pretzels I had, and I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
From Sergeant Zim, how far are you in Nax on Hearthstone?
I played against the first boss and I lost, and I said, I am not going to do this right now.
I figured everybody else beat it on the first day. I didn't need to.
Well, yeah. But here's my problem. I just don't have enough cards in Hearthstone to create a deck to be able to beat these NPCs. So I have to play more Hearthstone to get more cards so that I can build a deck that would actually defeat them, because they're hard. And I don't spend a whole lot of time playing Hearthstone, so basically I logged in and got into Nax so I would have the first wing for free. That's what I did, and that's it. What?
I haven't logged in. I have no idea what it looks like. I probably should take it to free stuff, right?
Probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just win 3 games and get the Hearthsteed too. You got to do that.
I did that.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I did that. I did that a long time ago.
Well, then,
I get on some good runs in that Hearthstone game when I do play.
You should just log in to get yourself the next expansion, the first wing, so in case you did want to play it, you didn't have to pay for it.
Okay.
Do that now.
All right.
Not right now, but do that.
No, I'll be right back. I'm going to go do that.
No.
No, just hold on. I'm going to go do it.
No, you're not.
Fine.
We're almost done. You can do it after. From Marcone, wow. You get to design a new mount for Warlords of Draenor. The only rule is that it needs to fit the expansion. What is it? Smirky.
You go first.
Good Lord. I think it needs to be some kind of like rock machine. Like really, like a vehicle made out of stone, whether it's like a bike or a something rock like, though. It has to be different than anything else that we've had before. This may be one of those things that you pedal, like those pedal bikes. make it a rock thing, though. It has to be rock.
Flying telephone booth.
Oh, you want a TARDIS?
Or the Bill and Ted's time machine. Either one.
A Bill and Ted. Why does Bill and Ted work with this?
It's a telephone booth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a telephone booth. They can make it a flying outhouse for all I care, as long as it has the ability to travel through time.
Well, why does it have the... Oh, okay, time travel. That's where I was missing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You forgot already? In the delay between the announcement and the game release, you forgot what it's all about?
Yes. I'm starting to lose it at the end of the show you watch. Fate 3000 just made fun of me and said pedal bikes, also known as bikes. Yes.
I love it when you do that.
I'm sorry.
I don't even pick up on it until after. Thank you, Fate 3000.
I'm sorry, Ian. I know. This is me on drugs and being on whatever cold or allergy I think
this
I have.
This is Jules on drugs. Pedal bikes.
Pedal bikes.
From Memeth, Triple T is now a non-sensational reality show. No hyping / script or BS, just your normal life. What do you feel would change the most in your life?
Okay, so people would be following us around, or just kind of following our day around.
Well, you know what would change the most in our lives? We'd be living together.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We would be.
Yeah. We'd have like the Triple T studios would also be our apartment.
Where would we be?
Well, the studios would be in the basement.
Where? What city?
In New York.
In New York?
Yeah, because they want to follow Rem and Jules living a daily life in New York.
I don't
obviously
want to live in New York. It's too busy.
No, but you would have to for the contract you signed. They would furnish a studio and an apartment in a New York high-rise, or no, in a brownstone, and we would live in New York and we'd fight every other day about groceries.
It's like the real world with
yeah. And then I'd be like, Jules, I'm going to see the Knicks tonight. And you'd be like, Rem, you can't. We have Triple T. And I'd be like, Jules, we discussed this 3 days ago. And you'd be like, Rem, we never discussed anything. We have Triple T tonight. I said, Jules, I got free tickets courtside with Bill O'Reilly to go see the Knicks. I'm going.
Bill O'Reilly?
I don't know. Anybody. Spike Lee, whoever. Pick somebody. Right? And then the next...
hang out with
The next scene would be us like on Howard Stern, like sitting there on the couch, and you would be all uncomfortable, and I'd be like living the dream because we're on Howard Stern's couch talking to him, and he'd be asking us a whole bunch of weird, uncomfortable questions, and we'd have to try to be respectful of the Triple T audience while also honoring the spirit of the show. It'd be great. It'd be an awesome.
Pull out a bow and arrow and shoot Robin Quivers in the eye.
Wow, Jules.
Read the Hunger Games books. Read them. That's all I have to say.
Well, Svensson says Chicago. You know what? Let's do Chicago.
I like Chicago
all
better.
Right. The Triple T reality show. What would it be called? Go Moo Yourself.
Go Moo Yourself.
No, that's a stupid name. I like
in the city.
Moo in the city. Windy Moo. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, this is really out of control. See, I was thinking that it would be following each of us in our normal lives, and then we would do the show, and it would be like, this is what Jules' life is like. This is what Rem's life is like outside the show. And then they get on, and they're like, talking about the show and my life, and this is, this is what happens behind the scenes where I'm cleaning up cat puke, and it's like that kind of thing.
Jules in her litter box.
Trying to pill 3 cats and getting war wounds. I've got a nasty one tonight. So
pics of Garrus on that bed.
Garrus sleeping on my face. Yeah, there you go.
I like that. I like the one of you and me living in a high rise in Chicago. I moved to Chicago better. No, Kane, you wouldn't be there. It'd just be the two of us. It'd be hilarious. Like it'd be like that show, Naked and Afraid, except we'd have clothes on and not in the jungle.
We came back around to the naked thing, and I didn't like it.
No.
No.
Oh, that's your problem. Sorry.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I thought it was fun, but I said we're not naked. Or
I know, but it's no.
It's the same show as Naked and Afraid, except with clothes on and in the city,
not
living comfortably,
and not having to fend for our lives.
Right, and having everything given to us because we're reality stars.
Oh my God, clothed and fearless is what Lori said.
And then clothed, clothed and fearless. Awesome. And then somebody would make an iOS game based on our lives.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We'd make $1 million off of it like Kim Kardashian did.
That's right.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's do the last one.
All right. Fine. I'm sorry.
From Derevka. Tell me one thing. Is my puppy June or Pat Crane's Darla cuter?
Both horrible.
Okay. This tweet yesterday started the flame war of all flame wars in a very friendly fashion, but very competitive between Pat Crane and Derevka. Since both of them have my cell phone number, they were texting me pictures of their pets for 2 hours straight.
Hold on a second. How come I don't have Derevka's number?
Because I met him.
He lives just north of me. We could hang out all the time.
Well, you should get his number. He's a lot of fun to text.
I don't want to ask him for his number. I don't know. That's a little forward.
This was so hard because literally these two would they'd send me awesome pictures and they'd send me awesome videos. And then they'd be like, this is my silver bullet. And it would be like the cutest ever picture of both dogs coming from both guys. And I'm like, I'm not even a dog person. So I don't even know what to say. So I spent time with Darla. She's a sweet puppy. She's very, very hyper. She's a very hyper puppy. And then June, who is kind of like a mix of Basset Hound and Beagle, is very sweet. So I couldn't decide. I couldn't make the decision, but I finally made it. If I were to pick which puppy I would want to have in my home, even though I'm not a dog person, I would pick.
Hold on. I'm going to say Darla because Darla looks like a female Buster. I'm just building suspense. Go ahead.
You're okay. You think Darla because she looks like a female Buster?
Yes.
I'm going to pick Derevka's June puppy.
That's just because you hate Pat Crane.
I do. I just loved. I thought that puppy is the cutest thing ever. And Darla is adorable, but I like puppies smaller, so it's June.
You like them cat sized.
I do because I'm a cat person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, as the one that's sleeping behind me right now.
What are we doing? We have feedback to get to. Why are we fooling around?
I don't know. Let's do it.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Feedback.
Okay. Normally we put the updates of the show before the think tank questions, but I thought it would be a good time to put this update in the feedback section, because we got so much feedback about this situation from last week about our religion topic. So let's first of all, let's hear from our writer, Anani Moos. And he said, "Dear Triple T, thanks for taking the time to answer. I was in the chat live, but as I was anonymous in the email, I didn't speak up that I was me. Some added info. The girl that I mentioned and I met online, and wow, in fact, after religion came up, it went right to the kids issue you mentioned. As I told her that night, the only thing I'd ask is that they'd be allowed to change their belief if they decided it was right for them. If they wanted to be Christian, that's fine. If they chose to be agnostic, that's fine too, whatever they wanted. Religion to me is a non-issue. So when it's an issue for someone, it just doesn't compute in my brain. I think I'm tolerant of others' beliefs, but it just doesn't matter to me. For where I live in the north. It is definitely heavily religious here. Publicly saying you're agnostic is literally a shunnable offense. If someone were to say they were atheist, I imagine this area would make it less than pleasant for them. She lives down south. I know religion is a bit more hardcore in the South, but I really didn't think about it prior to the deal breaker conversation."
I kind of feel the same way, where religion to me is a non-issue. As long as it doesn't become an issue, it's weird to say, but I mean, if it starts taking over aspects of my life and you're imposing it, I mean, then we have a problem. But I mean, really, I don't understand. It's just hard for my brain to understand why it becomes an issue because of the way I think of things.
And that's how you think of things. But there are people out there that say that this is very important to me, and
they're wrong, and I'll never talk to them.
What they're saying is that this is very important to me, and I want the partner that I choose to spend my life with to share that same importance, and for us to have our children live that life as well. So yeah, it becomes a deal breaker situation if that is so out of sync. But I think that there are a lot of people out there who say this isn't as important to me, so it's hard for me to understand the people who do.
Right.
So that's what that is. So as a result of all of that discussion that we had last week, we got a lot of email. And so we're going to read some of them, just as different points about the situation. So you get to read the next one.
Hey, Jules and Rem. As a Christian and former agnostic, I know from multiple scripture that it's said to not marry outside of your religion. One example is 2 Corinthians 6, chapter 6, verse 14 through 15. The reason for this is when attempting to be faithful to your religion, you can be pulled away from it with the beliefs of your significant other. This was brought up mostly in reference to the multiple religions and gods during the biblical times. Leaving the Christian belief out, think of all the cultural beliefs from biblical time. From the Muslim, Egyptian rule, and Roman Empire, all during the Old Testament and the life of Jesus. 2 of the top Christian holidays are said to even be based on pagan ceremonies, Christmas and Easter. That said, as a Christian, I can see why some would stick to their doctoral beliefs. I myself tend to be more progressive, but that doesn't make either side right or wrong. Sorry for my nonsense, just felt the need to write in after this week's Triple T from Xander of CTR.
It's all great points. And so this one that we have coming up next is coming at it from a completely different perspective, and I really appreciated it. Dear Rem and Jules, I highly value both of your opinions on the last question you answered on your show about Torrance and his dating problem based on religion. However, I think you both failed to address the issue from the other standpoint, that of someone who has found their religion through their significant other. Now, I don't know the backstory behind the original problem of Torrance being agnostic, but he seems to be attracted to the same kind of female over and over again, a Christian lady. Maybe there's something to this. Did he get the chance to go to church with her? Did he try it out? Well, obviously not, since they met in WoW. One of my professors in college was a Methodist preacher. He said something that I have taken to the absolute core of my values. If you don't question your religion, you don't deserve to believe in your religion. This goes for agnostic people also. Everyone is religious. We are all concerned about what happens after death in some way, shape, or form. Questioning your religion ends up with one of two things. Either you change your religion or you gain a much deeper understanding of your beliefs. Either way, the risk is there, but the rewards for becoming a better person are more than worth it. Unfortunately, when I questioned my religion, Presbyterian, I lost faith for a good long time. Then I met this great girl who I fell for almost immediately. After a few weeks of seeing her, we had the dreaded religion talk. Instead of pushing me away immediately, this great girl said, well, why not try church out again? What do you have to lose? Mind blown. Why the hell not? No one else would ever accuse me of having a closed mind. Us agnostics pride ourselves on such, don't we? So I went to church and I had a great time. It is a non-sectarian church, meaning they don't subscribe to anything but the idea of Christianity and how it applies to our daily lives. Instead of going on, droning preaching from the Bible, almost the entire hour was spent immersed in music and celebrating what Christ had done for us. The minister discussed what it meant to give to the church and showed us the crew we were sending to Africa to help build wells in areas that needed fresh water. We've kept up with that crew, and they have a well digger that travels from town to town by truck, all donated by the church. And then on Sunday lunch and then we had Sunday lunch at her grandma's where I met her family. I was astounded. Here, I thought church meant dressing up, trying to stay awake, and chanting like a cult over and over again. Instead, I found I completely enjoyed going to church and have renewed my faith in God and Jesus. I haven't changed much. I just shifted my line of reasoning. Instead of trying to choose the correct path on my own, I choose to try to understand the path that Jesus took as he chose the right one to begin with. It's a lot like learning to play a discipline priest. Irony is not lost here, I assure you. Why figure out how to play it yourself when you have so many good examples to choose from that are already doing it? By the way, that girl that took me to church ended up being my wife. We're happily married, and we still go to church every chance we get. I don't expect the entire wall of text to be read on your show, but it was. But if you could at least get in touch with Torrance, and this might give him a new perspective on the matter. Speaking of your show, I still love it. Keep up the good work. I know it's hard coming up with content right now. You guys are well ahead of everyone else in rich, good conversations. Dark Lady, watch over you from Zailra on Discipline Priest on U.S. Thrall.
I like how he talks about religion as a dark lady.
I know. This was a good perspective, an opposite perspective. Not everybody's going to share in it, but I think that it's a different perspective for someone just to say, question what you believe and make sure that it is what you believe. So there you go.
And got another feedback letter here, but a response to our discussion about themed weddings.
Yeah, you kind of inflamed this one, sir.
I blame you because you agreed with me.
I don't know. Okay, read the letter.
On the wedding thing. So, on religion, you guys are all like, to each his or her own. But on WoW themed or themed weddings at all, you're like, themed weddings are dumb. Don't do it. You know what a WoW / Star Wars / Halloween themed wedding won't do? They won't make you sit, stand, kneel for over an hour and a half for some fairy tale story. Catholic weddings add a half hour for Greek Orthodox and even sillier costumes. Oh, that's not fair. And by the end of the themed wedding, you'll know. And there's a picture of their themed wedding, which I respect.
It's a Warcraft themed wedding.
It's a Warcraft themed wedding, but it's just weapons. They're not dressed up as night elves and Draenei, which I'm very disappointed in.
And this is from David. Now,
where are the kilts?
Where are the kilts? Now, okay. What I said was that a themed wedding is difficult for the people who go there and don't appreciate what the themed wedding is about. If you've got a crowd that's like, I'm totally into this, that's awesome. And really your wedding is for you, and I believe that. But I just know that you go and they're going to be like, oh my God, she's walking down the aisle carrying a huge hammer. What the hell? It's like, well, but it's like, it's Doomhammer. I'm holding Doomhammer. Come on. Laser Asnother at my wedding party. Come on.
This is Ashbringer, Grandma. Okay? Ashbringer.
That's the thing that I think is the hardest, is trying to explain to Grandma why you're holding a massive sword at your wedding.
And a big circle thing in it.
No, I don't have a problem with theme weddings, and honestly, I think it's a lot of fun. But it's that whole side of it, the people who don't get it, and they're just like, their wedding was weird. But yeah. It's about you anyway, so who cares?
Well, you do what you got to do. I'm allowed to have an opinion.
You're allowed to have your opinion, yeah.
Okay, let me describe this picture. It's the bride and the groom. They're kissing. The groom is holding up some sort of battle axe. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the bride has in her hands. I can't really tell.
She looks like she's got some glaives or something.
Yeah, some glaives. And then the rest of the wedding party has assorted weapons of such. One looks like a ruined blade as a Death Knight would have. There's like the Illidan things. I forget the called. There's maces, and there's like a big Burning Crusade type of mace here. And they're all in their tuxedos.
Frostbringer's in there.
Yes. They're all in their tuxedos and their bridesmaid dresses. So, how theme of a wedding is this, David? Really?
It's a theme. They've got weapons.
Did you just were they on the party bus or were they in the church? Because if they were in the church, you're a badass, and I apologize.
You can't judge, Rem. You cannot judge. They were having fun and they enjoyed their day and they looked great.
It's just as Jules said, you have fun, you do what you want. Just think, the way I'm wired, I just think of the people who are there and why they would question what is Doomhammer and why is there a giant sword in this church? What are we doing? That's all. But if people get it, they get it. Have fun. God bless. I said God bless, and I'm an atheist. I love it.
All right. That's our feedback for this week. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for your thought-provoking discussions. And we're looking forward to more feedback from you guys.
Yes, you have feedback or tell us one thing questions at TaurenThinkTank.com. And I forgot this earlier, but tell us one thing. Tell us one thing Thursdays. Look for us on Twitter at TaurenThinkTank and Facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. Jules.
Yes.
Slash Moo time.
Slash Moo.
Hit it.
From the Hobo Pope, Slash Moo to Bound Guild for downing heroic 25-man Garrosh. Good job, everyone. Hell yeah, it's a great job.
Congrats, you guys. That is super awesome. Slash Moo to you guys. From Jackie B, my Slash Moo to my boyfriend, partner in crime, and reason for livering Aldrich in game and in your live chat.
Living?
I said livering?
You said livering?
I did.
Reason for livering.
You threw me off. I'm just going to go in a corner.
Okay. From Memeth, Slash Moo to at themoonlight.com for being an awesome theater, to at the way it is 1128 for having a new in-game kitty, and to all the officers on AIE WoW and AIE Guild for this week's events.
From Tater_Soil RT. That's cool. Yeah. Slash Moo to my niece. She has leukemia, and at 8 years old, she has shown more strength than most people I know. Slash Moo to her.
Yeah, big Slash Moo to her. That is tough at 8 years old. I hope that she's doing well and continues to improve. From Mana Brownies, Slash Moo to at Restilian and at Corlane BP for being great friends.
From Spaz Wesson, Slash Moo to my fiance Sirius. Happy 5-year anniversary.
And finally, from John C., Slash Moo to my stepdad who suffered a stroke today. Hoping for good news tomorrow. #RealDad.
Well, Slash Moo to your dad. I hope it all goes well.
Well, I hope you get good news.
I'd like to give 2 more Slash Moos. One, Slash Moo to the chat room, because I love our chat room. Jules, the chat room's so awesome. So Slash Moo to all you guys. You guys deserve it.
They're particularly awesome tonight, man. You guys are rocking it.
And Slash Moo to Stormride cast member Jen Morton for starting her new job on Monday. That's awesome. Congratulations. Stormride cast Slash Moo to you guys too, because you guys all rock. Fitz back.
Oh, and one more that just got thrown into the chat room from Solomio. Slash Moo to my friend's husband who turned 70 this week.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so iTunes review, we haven't been reading them lately because, we just want to thank you guys. But we got one that was really amazing, and it was just very cool to read this. And I thought this summed everything up that we are trying to accomplish with the show. So from Snowburn182, they said, there is nowhere near enough this kind of goodness and honesty in the world. This podcast brings 2 emotionally honest people together who share their lives and opinions with us. They make me laugh, and they challenge me to think more and act more kindly.
He thinks we're honest.
I try to be honest about how I feel.
Yes, you have to be. They'd see right through it.
I know. No, that was amazing, and I thank you for those kind words and compliments. I mean, that's what we try to do. We try to make you laugh. We try to make you think, and to hear that that's happening is awesome. So thank you.
Yes, if you guys want to leave us reviews on iTunes, we would love that. Go ahead, subscribe to us on iTunes, leave us a review, give us 4 stars, 5 stars, and that's it. Also, you can find us on Stitcher Radio. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a review. We would love that, too. We are also on the BlackBerry Podcast Directory and, of course, the Xbox Podcast Directory. Jules, what's going on?
I has a busy week this week.
Oh, gosh.
I do. Okay, so that TV show, we're doing another episode on Tuesday. We are starting to watch the show Derek on Netflix.
Did you watch Sharknado?
No, I did not.
Oh, my God. Sharknado 2 is so awesome.
I need to watch it.
It's so bad. It's great.
I know. I need to watch that. That's that one. We have I Remembered It Better on, and thank you to everybody who has been listening to that show and telling me about it. They've been really enjoying our look back into geek nostalgia. So check it out. It's a lot of fun with Cliff and Ryan. Cliff is also known as Revan Geek on Twitter. You may have heard of the nice man that he is. So check that out. And then on Friday, I am joining the Ladies of Leap podcast for a guest appearance. So I get to talk about all the great games that I've been playing lately. And that's on Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. You could actually listen to the live stream. And I'll be tweeting out the details on that. So I'd love it if you guys were able to join and say hi and show your support and enjoy a great discussion about games from a bunch of really cool ladies. That's what I'm doing this week.
Can't wait for you to show everybody how elite you are.
I am pretty
because
elite.
I see it every Saturday night.
What's going on with you, dude?
Well, Liquor Fueled made a return, ladies and gentlemen. If you hadn't seen it already, Liquor Fueled is back responsibly.
Responsibly is the key word.
I think I titled it Responsibility. I don't know. It's on the store, stormbroadcast.libsyn.com. Fit makes his return to my dungeon. Huel joins us from the campgrounds. Jen Morton's with us. And special guest, because it was his birthday, Jim Beverly. You all know Sergeant Jim Beverly.
Oh, yes.
He got his internet working, and he was able to hang out with us live from Germany in the future. So we had fun. We decided it would be more fun to mix our own concoctions. So you have to tune in and find out what that was.
Definitely.
But yes, we'll be back in a few weeks and doing another one. I might release something special this weekend. I haven't decided what, so stay tuned to the Storm. Rayanne released an episode recently too, right before Liquor Fueled. So check it out. Stormridecast.libsyn.com, on Twitter at StormRidecast. You can stay up to date on all the latest happenings on that. Oh.
And we're back on our regular schedule finally. We are. There's no big things coming up in the next couple weeks, right?
I don't know. Is there something going on with you in August?
No. I'm not going anywhere.
I might be going on vacation some point in August. But
Okay.
I'll let you know. No plans are made yet.
Thank you guys for sticking it out from our weird schedule in July.
I blame Jules.
It's my fault.
All
and
of
your
it.
fault.
Nope.
But no, we're back on our normal schedule. There should be a show every week now. So yay! It's exciting.
Yeah, you think so?
I do.
I'm done. Are you done?
I am done. Send us your questions, guys. I know that it's a slower time, but we're still here. We've got lots of things that we can talk about. So send us questions for advice because we need them. We could use them. We've got some, but we could use more.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. And we really appreciate you guys listening and hanging out because you guys are awesome. We love you guys so much. Jules, let us bring this baby home.
Let's do it. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
You can find us outside of the show on our website, tornthinktank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us. There's also a donate button on the site. So if you like what we do and would like to support our show by sending us a donation, that's a great way to do it.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. And you can find us on Twitter. For the show, it's at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Rem at Remgar, REMGHAR, and me, Jules, at Jules RPG. You can also chat with us on our forums. You can give those boards some love by going to forums.signalsmedia.com.
Special thanks to Arcane, but I don't know why. He was giving me a hard time earlier. I don't think he likes my idea of our reality show.
I didn't think so either because he's not involved in it.
Well, he can deal with it because you know what? We're going to be huge when our reality show hits.
Oh, God.
If you're a producer and listening, we're totally willing to do whatever you need us to do.
Okay.
Yes, I would also like to thank Monster Energy Drink Orangeade Rehab for getting me through tonight. Boy, when you work 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, it kind of runs you down. So thank you to our sponsors at Monster. Don't forget your triple t-shirts at slashloot.com. 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors. They don't sponsor us. I'm just kidding. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight and every Saturday night, mostly at 10 o'clock Eastern time at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank. We love seeing you all here with us. We love our chat room. You guys are wonderful. So come join us and hang out. And if you can't, that's fine. You can download us, listen to us whenever you want. But I know that you're listening to us right about now. Jules.
Rem!
Anything else?
Thank you guys for joining us. I'm glad we're back. We're glad to see you again. We'll see you next week on Saturday night. Have a great week.
I feel like there's a song we should sing about Saturday night.
Saturday, 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 Saturday.
Is that all that? Is that the only words in that song?
No. Saturday night.
That would be amazing if it was just Saturday.
This doesn't go with the theme at all.
No. All right, so for Jules, for Kane, for myself, until next time, Slash Moo, everybody.
Slash Moo.
think tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
Masha!
You are never allowed to drink an energy drink on this show again.
Why? I had fun.
Were you drinking energy drink and alcohol?
At the beginning, it was a little bit of rum. Just a little bit.
So you've had energy drink and alcohol?
Mostly energy drink.
So you had a stimulant with a depressant?
It's
With
awesome.
a depressant?
That's fantastic.
Oh my god.
What's the matter? I'm fine.
You were everywhere. It's
Was I?
hilarious.
I thought it was good.
Talking about doing a reality show, we're naked, but we're not naked. What
That was,
the hell?
come on, that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's just like naked. It's just like naked and afraid, but without
But
being
it's
naked or
clothed
being
in
afraid.
City.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Oh, you're funny. All right, I'm stopping my recording.
Oh, that's right. I gotta stop mine too.
Ooh, it's a long show.
I blame you.
I blame you. I was chatty tonight, though. But I'm on allergy medication. I don't know what it does to me.
You're worried about me being an energy drink and which is a touch of rum, and you're the one all messed up in allergy meds and passing out and
I didn't pass out.
crazy,
I'm not crazy.
out of your mind.
Oh, screw it.
Hey, can I get notes tonight since you're gonna be away tomorrow?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
What is this? 109?
It is 109.
I don't mean to put pressure on you for notes. I'm just.
No, it's fine. I'll be up for a little bit, and so I'll do notes, and I'll start the YouTube upload.
Okay. Yeah, because it's only 10:52 where you are.
I know. It's not that late. I'm going to have to go to bed, though, because I've got to get up early.
What time are you going?
We're going to leave at 8. I got to get up at 7
Yeah.
so I can feed the monsters, because they're monsters in the morning, and take a shower and get ready to go. The little monster on the floor over here, he's always by my feet.
Who,
or sitting
Cutie
up on
Pie?
the couch, a little cutie pie. Hey,
Cutie
sweet
pie?
pie. You come
Yeah.
up.
He's so adorable.
Come here, say hi.
I love that kitty.
He's so funny. Hey, sleepy. If I can get him to come up. He's probably not going to let me touch him and bring him up here. Oh, Spaz Weston, I don't have time to do those anymore.
Yeah, we're busy.
I do. At that time when I was doing those, I had one podcast.
Clothed and different.
Now I have 3. I just don't have time.
I'm titling the episode "Clothed and Fearless."
Clothed and fearless.
Yeah, the other one was too long.
Yeah, that was funny. That was Lori's contribution right there. That was
Yeah.
funny.
So when you do the YouTube, it's "Clothed and Fearless."
Clothed and fearless. You got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, but all 3 of them are back on medication again, by the way.
I saw your Twitter.
Yeah. This was my war wound. Let me see if I can show this to you without bumping my microphone.
Bump.
See if you can see it on my thumb.
Oh yeah, look at that. Somebody got pissed.
Spike got pissed. that was Spike latching out as I tried to get the pill in his throat. Ugh.
Ugh.
So yeah,
War
war wounds.
wounds. All right, I'm gonna end the stream so I can get to work.
Okay,
This-
guys, have a great week. Thank you for joining us. Awesome discussion in the chat room too. I usually go back and read what you guys have to say because we can't read it. It's going by too fast when I'm in the show. But thank you guys for the discussion. It was good.
Yes, you guys rock. Thank you so much for coming
Love
out.
you guys.
Love you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Slash Moo.